I'm like boing, 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 spring coming right up on a weekend at the cottage. Welcome to Weekend at the Cottage. I'm Nik Manojlovich. Today I'm going to share some ideas on very easy to recreate spring floral arrangements. We did a very similar story last year. Click up here to head to that post. But front and center is all about this year's creations. I want to walk you through what I made. 3 different looks, again, very easy to recreate. At the end of this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how much each costs. So as you watch me prepare them, start to think, wow, I think this, get an idea of the cost, because I think it doesn't have to be an expensive venture when you arrange your own flowers. Let's start with arrangement number 1, this very beautiful fresh tulip arrangement. To begin, I went out and purchased 3 bunches of tulip. And you'll find that when you purchase them, they're differing lengths, they have different leaves and so forth. So first thing I do, spread a piece of brown craft paper out onto the countertop. And then I trim away all of the plastic and covering from the tulips, and I lay them into 3 bunches. Next thing we need to do is trim the tulips down to size so they're all the same height, and that's based on the vessel you're using. I'm using this beautiful depression glass vase with kind of this shape. So these tulips don't need to be too tall. I kind of keep them at about 6 inches. I take the first tulip, it's purple, I trim off the end, I trim off any excess or unsightly leaves, and I lay it down onto the counter. Now you go to the next color, so yellow. Trim it to the same length, get rid of yucky leaves, lay it down on top of the purple, then orange, and you just keep going. So this is going to give you a variation in the arrangement of tulips. Once everything's trimmed, fresh water into your vase, and then I like to grab the tulips as a bunch, place them in, and then you can go around and say, uh-oh, too many yellows in one spot, I'll move a purple here. But ultimately, when this spring flower arrangement is done, it's super simple, oh so gorgeous, dining room table, kitchen counter, lots of places you can place it into your home to give it that spring look. The next arrangement is, I was at a coffee shop and I saw something similar and I thought, I bet you I can do this at home. And remember that, if you're out somewhere and you see something that kind of catches your eye, kind of think, what did it take to make it? And then come on home and recreate it. I had this existing ceramic pot. The tools you're gonna need, you need scissors, a knife, your trimming tools, and then you're going to need a piece of floral oasis. You can buy this pretty much at any floral studio. You trim the oasis down to the shape of the pot. I press it down into the ceramic pot and then add water. Make sure your oasis sucks up all that water. And then we're on to a foundation of greens. You can use your favorite greens. I trim the greens and then place them all in and around the center of the vessel. And you're kind of creating a dome of greens. Once we have our color of greens, I'm taking my clippers and I'm trimming off the end of this beautiful branch. In Iran, for example, you would be celebrating springtime by giving your friends bunches of pussy willows. I think they're so appropriate in this arrangement. One thing, let me just go back. Notice that I cut the end of the branches, cut the end of the greens. Every time you're using fresh flowers, branches, greens, always start by trimming your ends. When you place the pussy willow in, we're turning the pot as we go along a little bit more, and you want to do this until it balances out and you have, a really nice look. And you can go again, just like with the tulips, and turn it until you have this really cute arrangement. I see this on an occasional table, powder room. This could be anywhere in your home. What a joyous kind of expression of springtime. Our last arrangement, number 3, is all about spring bulbs. So I have a shallow pot and I've done an assortment of spring bulbs. When I went to the store, you're buying little tiny plastic containers, but I also looked at the tags that went with. I did yellow daffodils, a crimson hyacinth, and then blue crocus. I start by taking the bulbs out of the pot. Look at how compact the root systems are. I place the tallest bulb in the middle of the pot, so in goes the daffodil or jonquil. And then next thing, the hyacinth. Hyacinths are fragrant, so this little arrangement is going to give off a lovely aroma of spring. And then finally the crocus. I placed the crocus bulbs in. I have potting soil down in the basement. Went downstairs, took a bunch of potting soil. I fill in the little gaps between the already kind of shape of the bulbs. And then the last detail is to take sheet moss. You can buy sheet moss at a floral studio, rip it apart a little bit, kind of open it up, and then tuck it in and around the greenery, and you'll see you'll have a very, I think it's just a lovely look. If you have something like a little, for example, Easter tribute, you can get a little tiny chick in an egg. It's a little Easter ornament. I think it would look charming in this, so I wanted to kind of place it there to show you. Yet, I think this arrangement is perfect to go as it is. And actually, I often give these as gifts. You know, make this at home, take it, wrap it up, take it to your friends if you're going away for the weekend or heading to someone's home for dinner. What a lovely kind of like, hey, happy spring from me to you, that kind of thing. Okay, let's do a recap now. Tulip arrangement, arrangement number 1. We have our tribute with pussy willows, and then we have our bulb arrangements. If you go to make these at home, a rough idea of cost. Our tulips, oh wow, about $18 to arrange these, but they're gonna last the full week. Make sure you top them up with water. The pussy willow arrangement, I already had this vessel, no cost with that. The oasis, the pussy willows, the greens, $7 for this beautiful little stunner. And then finally the bulbs. The bulbs are very inexpensive. You can buy the little kind of containers of bulbs for $1.99. The greenery, a little bit of extra soil. This whole thing comes together for under $9. Each and every one of these arrangements is under $20. Doesn't have to be an expensive proposition. Bring spring into your home and welcome this glorious season. Looking for other great ideas? Why not head to weekendатthecottage.com. When you're there, please subscribe to our newsletter. Also look for us on our dedicated YouTube channel. Click for notifications, drop us comments. Finally, why not talk about every season throughout the entire year on one or more of our social media feeds, Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Well, if you live close, I'll tell you one thing, I would place all of these into my arms, I'd get in the car, and I'd be over in a flash. All of this to say to you, happy spring. Enjoy from all of us at Weekend at the Cottage. Take care.